Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to make these wire wrapped earrings. Now what I've done was, I've seen this kind of style around before where they just wrap it around the stone and then have another accent bead on the front. I really like the look of it. Ideally you can use a flat bead to make the earrings. You could go with a round flat bead. The most important thing is it has to be straight drilled. It needs to be drilled down the middle like that. And the accent bead can be any kind of bead you want. I used a pearl here, but you could use any type of round bead or rondelle you want. You need a fair bit of wire and just some ear wires. Now you can also make this into a pendant if you prefer. So let's get started. I'm working with a 15mm square bead. I would suggest if you're going to use something other than flat that you take a little time to get the technique down and then start to work on a curved side. I'm working with about 2 feet of 24 gauge wire. You could use a 26 if you prefer, or whatever fits your beads. And I also have a 10mm pearl here. First thing you want to do is just do a wrap loop. So you're just going to do a simple circle like that and then just wrap that in. Once that's done, just slide the other side of the wire through your bead. Once you have the loop through, you're just going to want to bring your wire right up and just wrap it right around the loop once, and then just bring it down the back side and then back up to the front. So one on the one side and then go to the other side. We're going to go about 7 times. So go from alternate sides. And the reason why you do that is because it will keep it on your bead better than if not. Now when you are wrapping, just make sure you're not wrapping too tightly, because you eventually want to be able to get a wire underneath this whole bundle of wires. So I've got 4, I want to do 7. 5, go back to the other side, 6, and back to the other side, and that's 7. And then go right up to the top and go around once. This is when we're going to add the bead. Right to the back side. So now we have that. Now we're just going to have, I just went right around the top loop with the wire, and now just going to string on my bead. You can use any type of straight drill bead you prefer, just as long as it is something that's round. Round will work ideally, because then you can go right around it. So just bring it right to the center like that, and then just, this is where you're going to need to get your wire underneath that bundle of other wires. And you want to get it under all the wires, because it will bring them together. Now if you find that you've made it a little too tight, you can always go in with your chain nose pliers and just kind of slide them in there a little bit, just to lift the wires up a little bit. Just enough to get your other wire in. Now I'm just going to take that wire and just go right underneath that bundle of wires. Like that. And then just start to pull it right through. And your bead might sort of go sideways. Just bring it back to the center. You just want to make sure everything is centered, even if you want to push that wire in a little bit on top like that. Okay, and now you're just going to finish it up, and you're just going to do a couple of rounds. Now the rounds, it doesn't really make a difference. I think about 4 or 5 is about right. So that's about 4 and 5. You could do more if you want to bring more up top so that it looks a little bit more framed. So if you just want to work up a little bit on your accent bead. And then once you feel you have enough wraps, then what you want to do is just slide it back underneath that bundle of wires, just like you did before, like that. And then I'm just going to, and when you do this, when you do pull this through, make sure that it doesn't uncoil from your bead. So try and hold it with your finger, because it's not really stabilized yet. So just pull that through, and you can just pull it through a couple times. Do the same thing. Just slide the wire through and just kind of make it tight. And that's just basically going to stable it and just finish off your I'm just going to do one more time. Alright, and that's as much as I want to go with it. And then I'm just going to take my wire cutters and just trim it back. Make sure all your wires are nicely tucked in. And at this point, you can just go back, have a look, see that everything is exactly the way you want it. If you wanted to lift these wires so they're framing your bead a little bit more, you could actually do that. It's no problem. And then just bring your pliers together and you can just if you want to tighten anything. Sometimes in the back, if you wanted to just push the wires together a little bit tighter, you can do that. So then that would be what you have. So at this point, all you want to do is either put an ear wire on it if you want, or you could also put a jump ring on and have it as a pendant. So this concludes the tutorial. Hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.